A deal on Dickens, who could resist? A stack of Austen, warmly kissed. Golden Age crime tales twist and turn, every page a treasure to learn. Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea, reading always feels so free.
Hi, my name is Talia. Welcome to Talia Nerds Out. I'm not sure how many videos I'll be able to record besides the time limit that I have, natural time limit with people getting up in the morning. I also am out of a few meds because of some insurance issues, and anyway, I'm just out of some important meds, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to do before I have to stop just physically. But I will just start going ahead. If I have the ability to, I will do some book reviews, but at least I want to do my birthday book haul, the remainder of the birthday book haul. I think most of it is birthday book haul. But yeah, I'm going to start off with this first video. I think I'm going to do the history books in this video because I was actually able to divide this into sections as I usually do, because with the book haul, with my birthday cards, gift cards plus my points from thrift books, I think I get a free book credit the week of my birthday. But I was able to not only buy books based off the gift card, but I kept getting free book credits. So some of these I think are purchases outside of that, but most of these are birthday. So I'm going to start with the history books. And this one actually doesn't have to do with birthday. It's just the one that's up at the top. This book is, oh, I'm sorry, I just kicked the camera. I need to be a little bit more mindful of where that is. This was a book recommended by Mariana of Book Zealots. Way behind on everyone's videos, and unfortunately including hers. But she had mentioned, again, more recently when we were talking during a buddy read that we were doing, she had mentioned again this book that she said she really enjoyed it. She said it actually was quite funny as well as, being interesting. But this is John Quincy Adams by Harlow Giles Unger. He also wrote a book on Lafayette. I have the audiobook of that, but she's mentioned a couple times, including in a video, how good this book is. And I was having a particularly frustrating week when she mentioned that. I was like, you know what? Found it for a really good price. And I was like, I just need a less than $7 bit of, happiness coming in with this book. So I think I might have to make a special effort to read this year because I have heard really good things about this. A lot of times it seems like I end up picking up books from Ariane's recommendations. Now this one was a free book that I got with a free book credit. This is Tutankhamun and the Golden Age of the Pharaohs. And the author is Zahi Hawass. I have at least one other of his books, and he's supposed to be a really respected Egyptologist. And his books do tend to have quite a bit in the way of pictures, as I've noticed. The other book that I know for sure that I have of his is one about women in ancient Egyptian art. This one, this one was coming in for quite a while. I feel like it took a while to come in from Amazon. I first heard of this book, I believe the channel is Reading in Darkness. I believe that's her channel name. If I remember, I'll put her information in the description box. But she is blind, and she was the first video I saw of hers was where she was going through all of her different ways of reading with an electronic device, with the actual physical Braille book, just a bunch of different things. It's a really cool video. You should check it out. But this was the book that she happened to have, not this specific format, but she had an actual Braille version of a book of this title, Louis Braille, A Touch of Genius. Now, I don't know if it's a similar book of the same title, but not the same book. I don't know, but this looked really good. I heard good things about it when I was looking at the reviews. They were saying that it has, besides having, good information, there's, good pictures, as well as they would have pictures of letters written, like they show there. And it just sounded really good when I was reading the reviews. Oh, that's cool. So it actually has, and I guess it makes sense, that it has this, I don't know if you can see the dots. You can actually feel the Braille. Okay, when I'm having a sensory day, I might just have to come, and it depends on what kind of sensory day I'm having, like maybe feel this, because on the one hand, I'm not sure if it's sending me into a bad tingly feeling sensory-wise, or if it's just actually kind of, I haven't made up my mind yet. I wonder if every page is like that. Okay, no, it's not every, they don't have like an opposite page that's all Braille. That would have been kind of cool. But finding a good biography on him was actually, there wasn't a whole lot out that I could see. But that's really cool that they have that front page being Braille. I think that it's probably the opposite of what's right here, this letter. All right, that's really cool. Then here is a book that was partially purchased through a gift card, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to pick it up. It was, hard to find anything of a decent price for this book. This is a biography on Cervantes, because his life sounds like it was quite interesting. It's by Jean Canavaggio, and apparently this is quite a good biography. I looked up what was the best recommended biography, and this was it. Actually, this should have been my other section with literary stuff, but oh well. Then this one here, I want to say this was recommended by Mariana as well. Maybe not, maybe someone else, but I know this was recommended on BookTube channel. The Man Who Would Not Be Washington, Robert E. Lee's Civil War and His Decision That Changed American History by Jonathan Horn. And I could have sworn this was recommended either in the Historathon Discord or by Arion at Book Zealots or some other BookTube channel. I'm not sure. I know I heard about it somewhere. And one of the early history books I remember reading for fun, I want to say this was even high school, was a book about Robert E. Lee. And I have no idea what happened to that book. It was a little paperback. Haven't had it forever. I remember reading it, and then I don't remember ever picking it up again. But I remember really enjoying it and becoming very interested at that time period in the Civil War because of the biography on Robert E. Lee. And I live in a more southern state where we definitely have, streets that are named after, Jackson and Lee and, all the different southern leaders. So I probably got it at, I don't know. I feel like I probably got it at our local used bookstore, but it could have been just as easily been from something that was like a historical center type thing. but this is a little bit dog-eared here, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't think it would have been at our visitor center, but it could have been. Anyway, then I have this. This was amazing. I think I actually got this. It was either a free book credit or like not. It was even less than half price. Like it was, I don't know, more than 50% off. So maybe like 75%. It was significantly off of the price on Amazon. So I got this on Thrift Books, either for free or at a significant discount. It's Genius, Obsession, and How Leonardo Created the World in His Own Image, Da Vinci's Ghost by Toby Lester. And I had been trying to find a good book on Da Vinci that was highly recommended. And this was one of the ones that I found. And it says, this is a story of the Vitruvian Man, Leonardo da Vinci's famous drawing of a man in a circle and a square. Deployed today to celebrate subjects as various as the nature of genius, the beauty of the human form, and the universality of the human spirit, the figure appears on everything from coffee cups and t-shirts to book covers and corporate logos. In short, it has become the world's most famous cultural icon, yet almost nobody knows anything about it. And then it goes on to talk about it, where it comes from, the idea, etc. So it just looks very interesting. I will probably give my dad a chance to read it when I'm done, because he is an artist in his free time. I've shown his artwork before on this channel when we had Framed in September. Now this one I know I got for free because I was looking for I had a free book credit. I was like, oh, let me see what I can find. I was having some trouble finding something. And I knew I wanted a Toby Wilkinson book because I really enjoyed his book on Ramesses. Now, I wasn't able to get the Rise and Fall of Ancient Egypt, I believe it is that it's called. I wasn't able to get that one for a free book credit. But I did find this one, A World Beneath the Sands, The Golden Age of Egyptology by Toby Wilkinson. And it apparently is a thrilling history of the West's scramble for the riches of ancient Egypt by one of the foremost Egyptologists of our time. From the decipherment of hieroglyphs in 1822 to the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb by Howard Carter and Laura Carnarvon 100 years later, the uncovering of Egypt's ancient past took place in an atmosphere of grand adventure and international rivalry. In A World Beneath the Sands, acclaimed Egyptologist Toby Wilkinson chronicles the ruthless race between the British, French, Germans, and Americans to lay claim to Egypt's mysteries and treasures. He tells riveting stories of the men and women whose obsession with Egypt's ancient civilization helped to enrich and transform our understanding of the Nile Valley and its people, and left a lasting impression on Egypt too. Travelers and treasure hunters, ethnographers and archaeologists, whatever their motives, whatever their methods, a century of adventure and scholarship revealed a lost world buried for centuries beneath the sands. So this looked good, and it looked honestly quite interesting. I've read books on Egypt before, but not necessarily on the Egyptologists of that golden era. Now, I feel I should cover this one next as being appropriate follow-up. This is Max Mallowan's memoir. So the Mallowan's memoirs, Agatha and the Archaeologist. So this is the second husband of Agatha Christie's memoirs. He is the archaeologist husband versus the pilot husband. And so in these informal, often witty, and always interesting memoirs, Sir Max tells the story of his life from his boyhood at Lansing, where he was a contemporary of Evelyn Waugh, to the days when he was a trustee of the British Museum. The author was initiated into field archaeology at Ur by Leonard Woolley in 1925, and it was Woolley who first introduced him to a visiting novelist, Agatha Christie. Throughout the pre-war years, Sir Max Mallowan was accompanied on all his digs by Agatha Christie, who took an active part in the photography, recording, and preservation of the finds. Some of the humorous odes she composed about her colleague I might need some water. Some of the humorous odes she composed about her colleagues are included in these pages. Following the account of his wartime activities in the RAF, Sir Max devotes 4 chapters to his wife's achievements as a supreme craftsman in puzzling and holding under her spell innumerable readers, audiences, and film-goers throughout the world. So I feel like when I read this, maybe I should read it like either right before or right after I read Come Tell Me How You Live, which is Agatha Christie's memoirs about, I believe it's a specific dig that she worked on with Max. So I feel like they should be read around the same time period just to kind of get both of their points of view. Now, the final history book that I have to show is The Fault of the Buddy Read that I just finished with Mariana Booksellets, which is My Dearest Friend, the letters of Abigail and John Adams. I will talk about that at a different point when I finally start getting through my book reviews. I have so much to say about that book, but I will hold off. But in that book, during one of John's letters, he mentions a number of riots going on at London while he was there. And I was like, I don't remember hearing about any riots in the 1700s specifically. I just don't remember ever hearing about late 1700s, hearing about any riots. Well, apparently there's something called the London Riots of 1780, and that's the name, the second part of this title. The main title is King Mob. And apparently these riots were set off by an act that had been, I guess, ratified or something like that. It had been an act put out by Parliament. It was the 1788 Papist Act, or Papist Act, or the Papist Act of 1788, something like that. It was supposed to provide more rights for Catholics in England. And that was considered very upsetting by a number of the population. And there were riots, apparently quite violent ones, if John's letters are anything to go by. So it piqued my interest because I had never heard of this, and I was wondering why not. And it was a little bit hard to find anything about it. This was the only book I could find, but I'm quite interested in learning about it. I mean, I don't think this book would take very long. It's not a super long book. It's including the index and bibliography. It's not even 200 pages. So this will be a nice quick read. Teach me about a time in history of which I have no familiarity, a particular incident in history of which I have no familiarity, because a lot of my focus during that time period tends to be on the American side of things. I have never heard of this part of the British side of things, so it should be interesting. But that's it for, now I'm getting cold, for this particular book haul video, the history part of the book haul. I will be coming back after this video for the next part of the book haul. God bless. Bye.
Books keep coming home with me, piles so tall they're all I see. Turn a page and sail the sea. Reading always feels so free.